Today we're going to make some elderflower cordial. Elderflowers now in full bloom here in East Yorkshire, and we've been out this morning picking some to show you how to make the cordial. So you need to look for flowers like this. These are still probably a little bit on the small side, but this is what elderflower looks like. It's absolutely covering the hedgerows. We're probably later than everywhere else in the country in the UK, so further south is definitely elderflower ready. So that's what it looks like. You need to pick 10 good heads of elderflower. They will get bigger and bigger and they spread out quite big after a while. So 10 heads of elderflower, you'll need a lemon, you need some citric acid. Now this is available, I usually buy mine online. You can buy it in chemists and mainly online really. Whole Foods online, buy Whole Foods online, have it. You need 45 grams of that, and you need granulated sugar. Now it does use an awful lot of sugar, so it does look a bit scary, the amount of sugar we're going to put in, but the sugar acts as a preservative as well. So I've got boiling here, this is 900 millilitres of water. You need to bring that to the boil and add, wait for it, 1 kilo of sugar. I know it's a lot. And then bring that to the boil. It's best to put get the water boiling first before you add the sugar, because that'll dissolve the sugar pretty much straight away. So otherwise, if you put the sugar in and cold water, it takes forever to actually dissolve. Whereas this should do it within 30 seconds or so, it'll have dissolved. So just make sure that the sugar's fully dissolved, comes back to the boil, and then we'll add the rest of the thing. So just let that come to the boil. You need to take the peel off the lemon. So just use a potato peeler and just take that off. That just takes just the right amount off without taking any pith off. And then we're just going to slice that lemon. These are lovely, great big lemons that I've got from Rafters of Driffield. So just chop that into slices and then wait for that. It's nearly boiling now. Your elderflower's already there. Just give it a shake before you put it into the water, because as you might see, there might be whizzing around some little beings, and we don't want those to go in. It will sterilise, so it's okay, but you really don't want to have those in there. If there's any big stalks, just remove those as well. And then we're going to pop them in. So almost boiling. You need to get it really right to the boil, and then add your citric acid. We'll pop that lemon in as well, and then we can turn it off so all that sugar's dissolved. Turn it off and pop in your elderflower, and that then needs to steep for 24 hours, and then we're going to strain it. You can see in there's a few little thunderbugs in there, so we don't want those in. That is going to steep, as I say, for 24 hours. Now my friend here, my camera lady, tells me that if you put in a tablet, which is right here, these are Camden tablets. Now, do these go in now, or do they go in afterwards? You told me. So one of these little Camden tablets. Now these have got sulfites in them, so you have an allergy to sulfites, you don't want to put one in. But this helps. Apparently you just drop it in and let that dissolve. This helps to stop sometimes with elderflower you can get a little bit of growth in there. It's perfectly fine to drink, but it looks like it starts to sort of grow little tendrils inside after a while. So that helps to stop that. And so we'll put that in there, and that will help that to stop. But obviously don't use it if you have an allergy to sulfites. So that now we'll put to one side, cover it up and leave it for 24 hours. And right here, I have some that I did yesterday. So this has been overnight steeping. And so we've got there, I did double the amount. And this now needs to go through a colander lined with butter muslin. And that will stop any of those little bugs, if they're in there, going through. So just pour that in and let it all go through. We'll let that strain and then you can bottle it. Now this, I usually keep it in the fridge. It'll keep in the fridge for quite a few weeks. But if you have, if you want to and you make a lot of it, you can freeze it too. Be careful if you freeze it in a glass bottle. Make sure that you only fill a glass bottle to about there so that it has room to expand. But of course, the best thing to freeze it in is plastic bottles. But I usually use this type of bottle here. So we'll just let that run through and then we'll come back and we'll bottle it up, and I'll show you some other that I've made as well this is cultivated elderflower. This is the black Sambucus nigra, it's called, this one. And we've made some from this too, and it gives it a nice pink colour. So I'll strain some of that off, which I've made too. You do it exactly the same way and it gives it a little bit of a pink tinge. So we've strained some of the elderflower and you can see that lovely, that's the pink one. It's a really pretty colour. And here's the normal elderflower. It really smells great. It smells of summer, just what we want, a bit of cheering up at this time of year. So just pour that into a jug, and then it needs to go ideally in a sterilised bottle. To sterilise the bottle, you need to put them into a cold oven at 140 degrees and wait till it gets to 140, and then it'll be sterilised. But remember to take off, if you're using these bottles, take off this little cork bit here, which you can unclip that because these melt in the oven, I found out once. So you can do that, and then obviously be very careful when you're pouring your elderflower in, and then just pour it through into the bottle and fill up your bottle. And you can also actually sterilise the whole lot as well. If you put this bottle into a pan of cold water with lots of tea towels in the bottom, and you bring it very, very slowly to the boil over about 40 minutes, it sterilises the complete contents of the bottle as well. So that's another handy tip. But you have to make sure that you've got very sturdy bottles. We did it once with some jam jars that were not quite right, and after spending loads of time making tomato passata, they smashed and the whole lot of tomato passata went into the pan, which wasn't great. I'll just fill that up, and then we'll fill the other, the one up with the pink. Put that in there. These bottles are really nice from some very nice rosé wine that we had. I took the labels off and kept them because they look very pretty. And pour that in, and we'll fill this bottle up too. So this will be about 750 millilitres. So one lot of elderflower cordial makes, I think, about 2.5 litres, more or less. I just fill that up. So that's very, very pretty, that one. And then don't forget to write on the label what you've got in there, or on the bottle. So we'll put on there, so we'll probably forget, June 2020. There we go. So there's our elderflower. Oh, not going in. Put it in a minute. Our elderflower cordial.